Hello students, welcome to the online class. In our previous class, we learned about balanced diet and importance of exercise in our life and why should we take rest. And in this class, we are going to learn how to protect ourselves from the diseases. As I said that diseases can be classified into two types: communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases, they can be transmit from one person to another person, and non-communicable diseases, they do not transmit from one person to another person. Okay? And in this class we will see some communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases also. So, let us see first non-communicable diseases. In these non-communicable diseases, first one, night blindness. What is this night blindness? You may have seen so many times in some films, movies. Some people, they may have night blindness. And what is this night blindness? When sunlight or any light is not present, especially at night time, they cannot see properly. We call this as night blindness. And this is a deficiency disease. What is this called, a deficiency disease? As I said in previous session, we need some nutrients, yes, to stay healthy. So, what are those nutrients? I said that carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins in that, yes, and especially this night blindness, it is because of deficiency of vitamin A. What is that? Vitamin A. So, deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. And not only that, if you do not take properly vitamin A, then it may causes vision problems, just like color blindness, night blindness, myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia. You will learn all these in your higher classes, but just listen. Okay? So, what we have to do? We have to take vitamin A properly. With that, our vision will be so strong. We can see clearly. And not only that, not only just deficiency of vitamin A, nowadays children, they are addicted to the mobile phones and addicted to the TVs. They usually watch cartoons continuously. With that, what happens? And not only they just watch, they are very close to the smartphones and TVs. With that, what happens? That light which falls on their eyes, it affects their vision. So, do not do such things. Okay? So, now night blindness, it is the deficiency of vitamin A. Then, as I said, if you take vitamin A properly, then we can get rid of from this disease. Then, what are the sources of vitamin A? All the leafy vegetables, carrot, fish, pumpkins, papayas, liver oils, all these are good sources of vitamin A. So, we have to take these food substances regularly. If you do not take, then what happens? We may lose sight. And next, second one, non-communicable disease is beriberi disease. Beriberi disease, this is also deficiency disease, and deficiency of vitamin B1 causes this beriberi disease. And especially nowadays, what do? We cook rice and after that we just throw away water, yes, but in that water only carbohydrates are present. So, we do not take that water, we separate that water and rice, we take only rice which is not useful to our body. So, with that also nowadays we are facing so many issues. Okay? So, this beriberi disease, it is the deficiency of vitamin B1. And what are the sources of B1? For example, unpolished rice, milk, meat, peas, cereals and green vegetables are good sources of vitamin B1. Let us see another non-communicable disease, that is scurvy. Scurvy, this is also deficiency disease. So, when we are lack of vitamin C, this is deficiency of vitamin C causes the scurvy disease. It related to gums bleeding. Okay. So, when we take these citrus fruits properly, oranges, lemons, guavas, then we will get C vitamin properly, then we can prevent this scurvy disease. And not only that, James Lind, a scientist, he told that by taking fresh fruits and vegetables, we can prevent this scurvy disease. Now, let us see some sources of vitamin C. They are oranges, lemons, green vegetables and sprouts. These are good sources of vitamin C. So, do not skip these food substances. And now, let us see rickets. Fourth one, rickets. This is also deficiency of vitamin D. So, deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets. What is this rickets? Because of this lack of deficiency of vitamin D, our bones become weak, they may not so strong. Vitamin D helps us to be, our bones be strong. So, when we are lack of this, then what happens? At early age, we have to face knee pains, yes, and bone pains, all that, joint pains, we have to face these issues. So, remember, daily at least 10 to 15 minutes expose yourself to the sunlight. With that, vitamin D can improve in your body and we may not face this issue, rickets. Okay? So, rickets, this is deficiency of vitamin D. And now, let us see another one, that is goiter. What is that? Goiter. I already explained about it, goiter. The deficiency of iodine mineral causes goiter disease. A gland which is present in our neck, it swells, and with that is nothing but it is a goiter. So, we have to take iodine mineral. Where do we get? Especially in seafood we get iodine mineral. And not only that, for example, iodized salt also good source of this iodine mineral. And let us see another non-communicable disease, that is anemia. Anemia, this is also deficiency of mineral iron. So, iron, if we are lack of this iron material substance in our body, then we will face this issue. And the people who faces this anemia problem, they have less amount of blood in their body. Generally, what is the blood quantity in our body? That is 5 liters. And what is the color of the blood? Red. And why that blood is in red color? The reason is the presence of hemoglobin. Okay? The people who suffers this anemia, in those people this hemoglobin presence is very less. So, with that they face this problem. Okay? So, this is anemia. And what are the sources of iron? Especially we can take dates, apples, bananas, guavas, spinach, brinjal, pulses, jaggery, meat and liver. So, these are the good sources of iron. So, when you take the properly vitamin A, B1, C, D and goiter iodine mineral and iron mineral, with that we can prevent these diseases. So, that is why good healthy food is very, very important to protect us from the diseases. So, what are all these? These are non-communicable diseases. They do not spread from one person to another person. For example, if any one family, if one person have night blindness, though he has night blindness, it cannot be transmitted to another person. Remember, okay? So, that is why these are non-communicable diseases. Let us see communicable diseases. What are they? These communicable diseases, the first one, Yeah. Communicable diseases. What are causes communicable diseases? Microbes. What are they? For example, bacteria, protozoa and fungi, viruses. These causes these communicable diseases. We'll see one by one. For example, if you take the bacteria, what are the diseases that are caused by the bacteria? For example, meningitis, typhoid, cholera. I repeat it again, meningitis, typhoid, cholera. These are caused by bacteria. So, as they comes under the classification of communicable disease, if one person affected by these disease, it can be transmitted to another person. Okay? So, that is why we call it as a communicable disease. And now let us see diseases that are caused by the protozoa. They are malaria, dysentery. Malaria, it is a fever, and dysentery is a infection in our intestines, infection to our intestines, that is dysentery. These two are caused by protozoa. And next, virus. And remember, for this bacteria we have so many antibiotics. Penicillin, it was the first antibiotic that was invented by the Alexander Fleming. We can prevent the bacteria caused diseases easily by using the antibiotics, but antibiotics, they do not work on viruses. These viruses are dangerous than bacteria. Do you know why we are taking so much time to prepare vaccine for the COVID-19? Because these viruses, they change their structure every time. When it enters from one person to another person, or it will be different in the structure from one place to another place also. So, the virus which is present in China, the virus which is present in America, the virus which is present in India, though it is the same species, corona, but it will be different in structure. So, these viruses, they are dangerous, and generally we use vaccines for certain diseases. For example, polio, for this we use vaccine, and we are also trying to prepare vaccine for COVID-19. We will learn about vaccine in later part of this class. Now let us see diseases that are caused by the viruses. What are they? Common cold, influenza, measles, rabies and rabies. These are some diseases that are caused by the viruses. Okay? And now, as I said that these are communicable diseases, then how they transmit to one person to another person? They need some carriers. What are they? For example, through direct contact. Even if you take the COVID-19, it spreads from one person to another person through direct contact. The person who is infected by the virus, if he is in contact with, if he comes into contact with another person, that another person also will be affected by the disease. So, we have to avoid direct contact, the person who is infected by the diseases, and especially through direct contact. Let us see what are the diseases that can be spread through direct contact. Common cold, chicken pox, measles, ringworm, whooping cough and scarlet fever. So, these can be transmitted through direct contact. And let us see another factor, that is through contaminated water and food. Water and food. Remember, we have to take clean water and healthy food. If you do not take clean water, what happens? So many diseases that can be spread from easily through water and food. And we used to take, some people, they are very interested on roadside food. What happens if you take roadside food? Flies, mosquitoes, they settle their excreta on those food items, and if we take that food items, what will happen? We may affect by the diseases. So, that is why we should avoid as much as possible roadside food. Okay? So, we have to take clean water also. We should not take water which have been stored from since 4 days, 3 days. what we have to do? We have to boil the water, otherwise we have to filter the water, otherwise we have to take chlorinated water. Okay, we have to take chlorinated water. So, and even there are some electrical devices available which can be filter the water. So, we can use that also. Okay. So, clean water and healthy food, it is must. If we do not take clean water and healthy food, with that diseases can spread easily. And then after, through air we breathe. For example, even if you take the COVID-19, the person who is affected by the COVID-19, if he coughs or if he sneezes, then what happens? Immediately that microbes enter in that atmosphere, and if you are passing from that place, if you inhale, then what happens? Those microbes, they enter in your body and that causes the disease. And how this corona spreads? Through direct contact, and in this way through air and breath also. So, that is why we should be careful and do not skip using the mask. Okay? Whenever you go outside, do not skip that. And next, through insects, and before that let us see some diseases which can be spread through contaminated water and food. For example, cholera, typhoid, jaundice, dysentery. I repeat it again: cholera, typhoid, jaundice, dysentery. These they can be spread through contaminated water and food. Next one, through the air we breathe. What are those diseases? For example, cold, flu, pneumonia, tuberculosis, mumps, measles. They can be spread through air. So, we have to be careful. Next, through insects. Insects also carriers. How? For example, dengue with mosquitoes, that dengue, that virus, it spreads from one person to another person. Yes. So, let us see some diseases that can be spread through insects. What are they? Malaria, filarias, yellow fever, typhoid, plague. These are some examples that can be spread through insects. Let us see the last one, through carriers. What are they? Carriers. In this fact, in this, human beings, they come under these carriers. And even if you take the COVID-19, the person who is affected by the COVID-19, and they are just roaming here and there, they are roaming out. And with that, what happens? The people who comes into contact with that person, they will also be affected by the virus. But these, they think that themselves, we are healthy, we can go anywhere, we can do our work properly. They may think that though they are healthy, when they go out, the people whose immune system is weak, they may affected by this person. So, that is why we have to be careful. Remember, the person who is affected by these diseases, they should not be carriers, they should not go out, they should not spread these diseases. Okay? So, remember, we have to be restrict ourselves. Remember, whoever the person affected by the COVID or any other disease, please restrict your time, restrict your place, no, do not go in public places and do not spread that, do not be a carrier. Okay? Now, as we have seen through carriers, let us see what are the diseases that can be spread through carriers, persons. For example, HIV, human immunovirus. So, this is caused by this is virus. HIV is a virus and it causes the AIDS. AIDS full form is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That means it affects on our immunity power. How coronavirus affects on our immunity power? In the same way, HIV virus, this also affects our immune system. So, this is incurable disease. Most of the disease, they can be curable by taking proper precautions, by taking medicines. We can cure from certain diseases, but not all, just like HIV. So, we have to be careful. And now let us see, as I said, we have to protect ourselves. Let us see preventive measures to protect ourselves from these non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases. What are they? The first one, sunlight and heat. So, the person who is affected by the disease, his clothes or his things, they should be keep in the sunlight. Why should they keep in the sunlight? Sunlight is a very good natural disinfectant. That is why we have to keep his used things in the sunlight for certain time. Okay? And we also expose ourselves to the sunlight certain time. And next, clean water and food. As I said, we should take clean water and food. And then after, preventing breeding of mosquitoes. If you observe in your surroundings, if you allow water to stagnate at that position, if you allow to water stand at that in your surroundings, then mosquitoes, they increase their number. With that, they can spread their disease easily. So that is why we have to prevent breeding of mosquitoes. How can we do that? Just by spraying of kerosene, or we can also use petrol. Kerosene or petrol we can use. So, by spraying kerosene and petrol we can prevent the breeding of mosquitoes. And let us see the last important point, that is vaccination. As I said earlier, we will learn about vaccination in this class. So, let us discuss that important topic. What is this vaccine? What is the difference between antibiotic and vaccine? Antibiotic is after affected by the disease. Generally we use antibiotics. For example, whatever the disease is, malaria or whatever it is, we take antibiotics. With that, these antibiotics, they work on the bacteria, they kill that bacteria. With that, we will be comfortable. But vaccines, they are used before we affected by the disease. Nowadays, now at present, our world, in every country, they are eagerly waiting for the vaccine of COVID-19. Why? Before we affected by the COVID-19, if we take vaccine, then we can prevent this disease. We can protect ourselves from this COVID-19. So, this is the importance of vaccination. When you take vaccine, it builds your immunity power. When it improves the immunity power, that can fight against this virus. That is why. So, do you know who invented the first vaccine? That is Edward Jenner. Who is that? Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner, he invented the first vaccine. That is why we call Edward Jenner as father of vaccination. Okay? He invented the vaccine for smallpox. He observed that cowpox, which is also a disease, that disease has immunity power which can improve immunity for the people who have smallpox. I will try to explain it simply. For example, a boy who is affected by the cowpox, if we inject smallpox microbes into that boy body, then he will not be affected by the smallpox. Okay? How? Because this cowpox disease, it improves some antibodies to fight against smallpox. So, in this way, by this situation, he observed that and he invented the first vaccine for smallpox, and we call him Edward Jenner as father of vaccination. So, let us see some tick the correct answers. I will read it quickly, please look into in your textbook. The first one, this helps us to grow well and stay healthy. What is that? Balanced diet. Second one, this gives us more energy than carbohydrates. What is that? Fats give more energy than carbohydrates. Third, which disease is caused by the deficiency of vitamin A? Night blindness. Fourth, our skin makes vitamin D with the help of sunlight. And fifth, goiter is caused by the deficiency of mineral iodine. Sixth, they are the smallest microorganisms. What are they? Viruses are the smallest microorganisms. Let us see the blanks. First one, dash in certain vegetables and fruits help the body to get rid of undigested food. What is that? Roughages. Second, Dash is the position of our body when we sit, stand or move, that is posture. When we stand, when we sit, our posture tells us how you are fit. And the next one, third, dash is a disease caused by the deficiency of vitamin B1. What is that? Beriberi disease. Fourth, some dash are rod shaped, some are twisted and others are round. What are they? Bacteria. Bacteria are in different shape. Some bacteria are in rod shape, some are twisted and some are round shaped. Okay. And dash is spread by a virus called HIV. What is that? AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. We must get ourselves as a protection against some disease. What is that? We must get ourselves vaccination. If you don't take the vaccine, then we have to face some diseases. Next, true or false? First one, we must exercise regularly. Is that true or false? We have to do regularly exercise. That is true. Second, roughage helps the body to get rid of undigested food. True. Third, diseases can occur due to many reasons. Yes, there are so many reasons diseases can occur. So this is also statement true. Rickets is caused by the deficiency of vitamin C. Rickets, not deficiency of vitamin C, it is deficiency of vitamin D. Sunlight is a natural disinfectant. Yes, it is true. Sixth, the municipality in our town not responsible for cleaning it up and handling the waste. This is false. Municipality take the responsible of cleaning our surroundings. Our surroundings means not our house. We have to keep clean our house ourselves. But in our surroundings, they handle the wastage and they will clean roads or street, that type of. Okay. Next, match the following. Scurvy, that is vitamin C, deficiency of vitamin C. Night blindness, deficiency of vitamin A. Rickets, deficiency of vitamin D. Beriberi, deficiency of vitamin B1. Goiter, deficiency of iodine mineral. Anemia, deficiency of iron mineral. So with this, we have finished our lesson. I'll see you again with another interesting lesson in our next session. Till then, bye. Thank you.